Okay, welcome. We are now on day 4. And I just finished the same trance meditation as I have been listening to for the past few days. And I feel different today, as you may notice. I'm a bit more aware of what's happening, but I'm going to get back into that trance state that I was just in to convey these messages to you, and always for the highest good. I'm feeling the energy of this God source, the universe, as I set my intention to provide messages for you, and always for the highest good. You are an observer of your reality. You are also the conduit, the channel. Yes, you. Me too. But you are the channel, or the conduit, or the instrument of your reality as well. You are the characters that you choose to play. You are also the energy in the environment that you choose. You are all aspects of this reality. And so that gives you much power to determine how your life plays out. Now, we are aware that moments in our lives happen that feel out of our control. And this is true because not everything is in our direct control, because there are infinite variations of energies. And so some are more forceful with emotion or velocity, to which the energy has been spinning. Some energies are more subtle as well, like a tree, right? A tree's energy is very subtle. Lightning would be an example of a more forceful energy, and yet it's all energy. It's all energy, and it gives us life. It gives us abundance in its sources. So once you begin to notice that you not only are you in this body, and you begin to notice that perhaps you can take on the energy of your surroundings as well, such as your environment, your career, your choosing of craft. You can begin to, the word manipulate is coming to me, but not in a connotation of negative power, but instead positive internal power, which we chatted about before, this internal power of goodness, of good force. Now, it stems more from just the intention, because sometimes we have good intentions and yet they seem to play out in a way that we were not intending. And yet, it still seems to all work out as we begin to perceive how we can benefit from the aftermath, no matter what. So, for example, if a tree were to fall and it created some sort of destruction, which is rare, but we have a choice of how we react to that and how we can use that moment or those resources. Now, this may not make sense, but it will, because this will be brought up again later and another time. So now all you must do is recognize that you not only have the power to choose how you react to something, but you can begin to play with the idea that you have the power to create your outside resources as well. Because the more that you focus on the internal power, the more that you magnetize what it is that you draw into your immediate surroundings, thus creating that reality for yourself as well. And so if you create this reality for yourself and you decide later on it's not what you want anymore, or it's not what you thought, then you also have the power to get rid of that energy. To see it differently, to possess it. Now, possession can be seen in multiple different ways. Do we possess because it's ours and it belongs to us? Or do we possess because we are holding so tightly onto something that we fear letting it go? Because we may not know what's on the other side of that letting go. So it's this tinkering between allowing and letting go, attaching and detaching. So as we move forward on this path of translucent energy, we begin to recognize that our environment is not something that happens to us necessarily, but it's something that we have somehow created, whether that's us mentally or perhaps our soul has brought this experience upon us to learn from it. But we can begin to, the word tinker, for whatever reason, we begin to tinker and dabble with these notions of, okay, do I want to keep this reality for myself, or do I want to change it? Do I want to switch it up? Do I want to release it? Do I want to capture it? Do I want to let it go? Do I want to change it, or do I want to embrace it? Do I want to pretend like it's making me happy, although I know that it's not? Because I fear the unknown? Or am I genuinely happy? So all these mental thoughts steer the way. But what else steers the way is when you connect with this source and you begin to receive information and feelings and intuitions that seem to come from outside of you, right? These thoughts or these feelings or these ideas or these I just feel called. I just feel pulled. I just know. I just had this download from the universe. I just had this crazy experience. These are also forms of utilizing what else you also have as a powerful source to create your reality. See, we think oftentimes it's just our mind and our physical actions, right? And oftentimes we think we have no control. We have no control. We think, well, whatever happens, happens, and we must accept it. But when you tap into the feeling of your soul, and when you really connect with that, you'll begin to recognize whether you are aligned or misaligned on this path that is for you. That's how you'll know if this path is for you. Now you're on your path, as I was going to say Tabitha says, and then I got my own mind. You are on your path already, right? Because you're here as a soul and you're experiencing this. But you have this internal power that is here for you to use. You can choose to use it in a manner that doesn't really help you in the long run, or you can choose to use it in a manner that lifts you up and thus lifts others up, and the environment and the earth and the universe and everything surrounding you. So it's how you're feeling mixed with morality as well. Because sometimes we like to choose to think that we are doing something good, and yet morally, although it's subjective, it doesn't really align with what we would call the highest good. So, you know, as a human deep down in your soul, what really is good. You know this. But sometimes we are projected with outside energies, right? Because everything is swirling, everything's connected, right? But the more mindful you are, the more that you are aware of this, the more that you're connected to God's source, the universe, the more that you can begin to align even more with the reality, with this outcome. You're able to connect, you're able to feel relieved, you're able to heal. So it's a combination of mental awareness and intuitive awareness and God source awareness. It's this blending of energies, right? Because we're a human being, so we must accept this reality. But also we are outside of this human experience as well. And we have this even higher connection with God, although God is within us as well. And so the message here is that you are everything. Energy is everything. And you are everything. You are energy, so you are everything. That concept might be hard to grasp mentally. But again, the more that you choose to, because you have free will as a human, and you can make time to do this, the more that you choose to align with this God source, that you decide what is the connection, right? Which is what we discussed yesterday. You get to decide how you want to connect. If you're not sure, begin to explore different ways. What I am doing now is a different form of connection. It doesn't have to be the way that you connect. Connecting can be simply taking a walk out in nature and starting to notice the sounds, the feelings, right? The wind, the breeze, the laughter in the distance, the trees, the ground, the gravel, the concrete, the dirt, everything. Becoming more awareness. becoming more aware of the surroundings. That will help you tap into the connection of this God source, because oftentimes we're so here, we're on overload here, and what they call not getting out of your own mind. Get out of your own mind, right? That's what that means, is blending this connection with this God source. So as you do that more and more, you will begin to notice this feeling that you are indeed connected, and it is undeniable. Only you know the feeling, because only you are experiencing the feeling of this connection. And we will never really know, but it will feel differently for everyone, because everyone is experiencing something energetically different, because their chemistry is different. Although essentially it's all energy, right? It's all the same. So we can't explain something and expect someone else to experience that exact same thing, because we don't really know. But what we do know is we have this ability to connect to this God source, the universe, your angels, your guides, your higher self, whatever you would like to call it. And so I must stop there, as I have other obligations outside of this meeting with you today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, there are resources below that will be beneficial to you and in the long run. As we continue this journey, you can repeat this as often as you would like. Listen to it, ingrain it within the energy. As you listen to these series of trance channeling, you'll begin to notice your reality starts to change positively. And please do not be fearful of this change, although it may happen, that fear may come up. But know that this is the transitioning of old ways into new ways. This is the growth spurt of your spirit wanting to bloom. So please welcome this and know that it is time to receive the goodness from the fruits that you have been bearing within you, that you have been growing. These ideas, these thoughts, these feelings, these projects, these goals, these dreams, these ambitions, all of this is growing, and it is happening. So align yourself with the positive things, however that force comes to you, however that feeling comes to you. It could be music, it could be meditation, it could be connection. Use these things for the betterment of your reality and continue to increase the vibration and the frequency. And do know that along the way, you may find this sense of struggle a little bit, because you're conflicting. Oh, I want to go this way, but no, I really want to go this way. Follow the soul, what's within your heart. Know that you will feel fear, but the key is to trust what is within and to continue anyway. And so it is. I have yoga class in 15 minutes, so I gotta go. My dryer's telling me it's done too. Alrighty, thank you for watching. I'm filled with gratitude. I hope this was helpful for you, and always for the highest good. I'm here, so please connect with me as well.